Hello everybody, this is Mary Lou Frost. Mary Lou Frost with Exit Realty Group, and welcome back to another episode of Spilling the Tea. Today is, like all the other ones, it's a great episode. It's lots of information, and so let's get started with, and it is strong. Look I am pouring a strong cup of tea today because this information is really quite important. Alrighty. Yes, that is strong. Alrighty, folks, today I am going to talk about the agreement of purchase and sale. That's your offer. This is the agreement that the wonderful buyer is presenting to you and your agent, the offer on your property. And remember, we've gotten that property already. We've decluttered, we've cleaned, we've brought in the pro photographers. We're set. We're all set. And now we have an offer. So I want to just kind of go over some important highlights of the offer. First of all, you will see that it is dated. It'll be between you, the buyer and you, and the real property, and the legal description of that real property is all up here on the top. So that's all filled out. You double check that it's all correct. And then we carry on to the price that they have offered you. So we're going to take it that this one right here, this offer is the perfect offer, okay? Then I'll talk about other offers. So the purchase price, they've come in right exactly what you want, so we're happy there. The deposit we're very happy with. It shows that they are interested. They haven't come in with a very small deposit. So it shows definitely that they have interest. Down here in the next section is the irrevocable. And the irrevocable means that the buyer is committing to this offer until a certain amount of time. It's usually sometimes 8 hours, 6 hours. Sometimes it is requested on the listing to be 48 hours. So the irrevocable is also very important because once the time goes past that irrevocable, this offer becomes what we call dead in the water. It becomes absolutely no more. So we have to be very conscious of time frames on these offers. The next section is the completion date. And that means the day that the deed gets registered in the new buyer's name and you are no longer the owner of that home. So that's page 1. That's one of the most important pages of the whole contract. They're all important, but that's super important. The next page basically talks about the chattels included, which are usually what has been at your request on the MLS listing. They may add a little bit more. They may see a lawnmower that they would like to include. They may see some furniture they'd like to include. But they will state it here. The fixtures excluded will also be what you stated on the MLS listing. However, they may say, gee, we don't want ... Okay? So that, again, is all documented. Rental items are very important. They need to know, and you need to know, was it a rental hot water tank? Is it owned? They need to know that, and that needs to be absolutely correct. Any rental items have to be disclosed so that the new buyer realizes they don't own that, but they can own the rental contract to it, okay? Usually it's hot water tanks. So that's that one, and we're initialing every page. We're acknowledging that we have read thoroughly every page. The next page, there's 2 items that I like to mention on this especially, is the title search. And the title search is something that the lawyer will do. The buyer's lawyer will do the title search. And that is usually done 7 to 10 days prior to the closing date. And what they do is they search the title. It's basically, they search the title to see if there's any liens against that property that we don't know about, so that we have that 7 to 10 days to correct it. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a fluke. Other times it's something very important to be addressed. So title search, that's the lawyer's, that's his job to do that. His or her job. The next one I want to mention down here is number 13, and it is about an inspection. And it needs to be acknowledged that the buyer does acknowledge that having had the opportunity to inspect the property and understand that upon acceptance of this offer, there shall be a binding agreement of purchase and sale. So it's basically saying that you are allowed to inspect that property either by yourself or with a qualified home inspector. That's an important little statement in there to really acknowledge, okay? Again, the rest of it is important too, but I'm not going to read you all these items. The same with this one here. It is all important, but for this video, I want to give you, I'm highlighting the most important parts of an offer. This page here is really the super important one. These little things are called the seal. And once you sign this, this is a binding contract. Okay, so when the buyer is presenting this to you, you will see that he signed it under seal. Okay, now when you review it and you are willing to accept all the details in it, you will then sign it and confirm the acceptance of it. Okay, the rest is just acknowledgement signatures. But once this is signed, we've got a binding contract. Now, the next one, you will see it's called a Schedule A, and that's always included in the offers as well. And it basically, on this page, I will tell you, the seller loves to see a lot of white. The buyer, however, may put in his clauses and conditions, and that fills it up with that time frame to meet those conditions. So basically, on a property, if it is in-town property with municipal water and sewer, you're going to see a statement saying that the buyer agrees to pay the balance of the purchase price, blah, blah, blah. Another condition would be a home inspection, okay? There's sometimes with a swimming pool, there's a condition or a representation and warranty, but all those things are discussed in full detail and understanding by all parties. Now, for a rural property, you would see the conditions as financing, a home inspection. You would probably see a well, water flow test, bacteria test. You would see sewage or septic, so that the buyer has got the ample amount of time to do those inspections. And that's what all goes on here, is the conditions. And the conditions are within a time frame, so it is the buyer's responsibility to complete these inspections within a certain amount of time that he has stated he can do that in. Okay, so that's the offer. We love it, we accepted it, we now wait for him to fulfill the conditions. Now, let's say they come in at a price or a closing date that we just are not satisfactory with. We want to then counter offer this offer, and this counter offer is then you, the seller, offering the offer back to them. Okay, so then we change the price, we change the closing date, we could even be changing some of the time frames on the conditions. So then it becomes negotiating. Your agent is the best negotiator for you at this point in time. And once we settle on what makes everybody happy, we then also sign the acceptance, and we're good to go. So that's really the offer. And as long as everything is satisfactory to you, the seller, we've got a deal. And then it is a responsibility of the buyer to meet all his conditions and fulfill them and sign off. And we have sold your home. So I don't want to say it's that simple, because this is a very, very important document. The whole process of selling your home is an important and very, very serious endeavor. So that's why I always stress, be very comfortable with your agent. Have that agent that you feel you trust, can do the job for you, and will actually answer every question that you have. You need to have that confidence in your agent so that he can get you the best offer at the best price to your satisfaction. Basically, guys, that's it. And you know what? Within no time, that sold sign goes on your front lawn, and you move on to your next adventure, whether it's been a purchase of a new home or whatever. So, guys, that's it for today. This is the agreement of purchase and sale, and once we've done all our hard work, this is a piece of paper that we want to see, and that's it. I really strongly suggest, if you have any questions, please visit my website, marylousellshouses.ca. Fire me off any questions that you have. I'm here to answer them. And I want to just say thank you so much for listening to another Spilling of the Tea episode with Mary Lou. Thank you.